Have you ever felt like something inside you is holding you back? Like your brain is wired against your own success? What if I told you it's true, and you can change it? Rewiring the machine. Imagine waking up tomorrow, and something feels different. You don't reach for your phone first thing. You don't dread the tasks ahead. You move with purpose. Your thoughts are sharper. You take action, and things start to click. You haven't changed your job. You haven't moved to a new city. You haven't won the lottery. But your brain, it's not the same anymore. What if success wasn't just about working harder, but about thinking differently? What if your brain isn't a fixed machine, but a moldable tool? And what if the wiring that holds you back could be reprogrammed? This is the journey we're going on today. No fluff, no gimmicks, just science, psychology, and real transformation. You'll understand your brain like never before, and you'll leave with a new one. Let's begin. The truth about your brain. Your brain is not finished. That's the first thing you need to understand. From the moment you're born, your brain is in construction mode, building, pruning, reshaping. It does this in response to experience, emotion, and habit. This process is called neuroplasticity. It means your brain can change. At any age, at any stage, even now. But here's the problem. Most people are stuck in an unconscious loop. They live the same day, think the same thoughts, feel the same feelings. And those patterns? They carve deep grooves into the brain, like water running through a canyon. The longer it flows, the deeper it goes. Eventually, it becomes automatic. This is why you keep procrastinating, why you sabotage progress, why your motivation crashes. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you're broken. It's that your brain has been trained to work against you. But what the brain can learn, it can unlearn. And what it can unlearn, it can replace. You're not stuck. You're just wired. And wiring can be changed. The hidden programming running your life. Picture this. You're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to growth, discipline, opportunity. The other leads to comfort, distraction, regret. You know which one you should take, but your body, your brain, pulls you the other way. Why? Because of the basement of your mind. Buried beneath your conscious thoughts is a massive archive. Memories, emotions, beliefs. Some true, most outdated. This is your subconscious, and it's running the show. Every time you hesitate before speaking up, every time you reach for your phone instead of your goals, every time you settle for less just to avoid discomfort, that's not you deciding. That's your subconscious, firing automated patterns it learned years ago. Success? It's not about adding more. It's about clearing out the false programming. We'll learn how to access that basement, clean it out, and build a mind that works for you, not against you. The feedback loop that builds your future. Your brain is always listening, not to the outside world, but to you. Every time you say, "I can't," every time you think, "This won't work," every moment you feel stress and give up, your brain records it. It builds a file. It references that file in the future. It says, "Oh, this person doesn't follow through. This person gives up. Let's conserve energy next time." That becomes your default setting. But what happens when you flip the script? When you say, "I can do this." When you feel afraid, but move anyway? When you do hard things and survive? Your brain records that too. And slowly, it upgrades the file. Your identity shifts. Your mind believes you. And when your brain believes in success, success becomes automatic. This isn't mindset, it's mechanics. And anyone can learn it. The brain's reward system. Why you're addicted to the wrong wins. Let's go inside your brain for a moment. There's a system called the dopaminergic circuit. It's your brain's reward engine. It's what makes you chase things, desire things, persist, even when it's hard. It's the reason a baby keeps trying to walk, no matter how many times it falls. And it's the reason adults sometimes don't. See, here's the twist. That system, it doesn't care about what's good for you. It only cares about what feels good right now. Scroll your phone? Dopamine. Eat sugar? Dopamine. Avoid the scary task and binge Netflix? More dopamine. Your brain rewards short-term relief, not long-term success. Not unless you teach it otherwise. Here's where it gets interesting. When you delay gratification, when you choose discomfort in the short term, you begin to rewire your reward system. You teach your brain that progress is pleasure, that effort is exciting, that challenge means something is working. Eventually, the hit you used to get from distractions, you now get from growth. This isn't about forcing willpower. It's about retraining the chemical system in your brain to love the right things. And once you've done that, you become unstoppable. The fear response. Why your brain lies to you. There's a structure in your brain called the amygdala. It's your internal alarm system. Thousands of years ago, it kept humans alive by warning us about predators, pain, or anything unfamiliar. But today, it can't tell the difference between a real threat and a tough conversation, between physical danger and emotional risk, between a lion and a LinkedIn post. That's why you freeze before sending that email, why your heart races when you're about to speak up, why you avoid anything that might make you stand out. Your brain says, "Don't do it, this could hurt." But what it really means is, this is new. I don't like new. Here's the truth most people never hear. Your brain is not designed to make you successful. It's designed to make you safe. And those two things are rarely the same. But there's good news. When you repeatedly do what your brain fears, and nothing bad happens, the alarm quiets, the amygdala stops sounding the sirens, and that scary thing, it becomes normal. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's a new relationship with it. And that relationship is something you can build. The habit loop. How to program. Automatic success. Let's talk about habits. Not the ones you think about, the ones you don't. Every morning, you brush your teeth without thinking. You tie your shoes, unlock your phone, sip your coffee the same way. These are automatic programs, installed deep in your brain's basal ganglia. It's the system that runs patterns without your input. Why does this matter? Because the most powerful form of success is one you don't have to think about. You wake up, you move, you build, you win. On autopilot. But first, you have to teach it what to do. Here's how the loop works. Cue, routine, reward. A feeling, a trigger, a moment. That sparks a behavior, which produces a result. Want to rewire your habits? Start by identifying the cue. What emotion or environment sets it off? Then, swap the routine. Don't eliminate the habit. Replace it with one that leads where you want to go. Your brain won't resist the change if the loop stays intact. And when you repeat that loop enough, your brain carves a new groove, a new path, a new identity. Habits don't just change actions. They rewrite the very structure of your mind. Identity, the root of all lasting change. Everything you do is filtered through who you believe you are. Think about that. If you believe you're lazy, even when you try to work hard, your brain will sabotage you because it wants to stay consistent with its identity file. But if you believe you're focused, you'll find ways to act accordingly, even on tough days. Your thoughts shape your identity. Your identity shapes your actions. And your actions reinforce your thoughts. It's a loop. But here's the secret. You don't have to believe a new identity right away. You just have to practice it. When you do something a focused person would do, you're voting for that identity. And every vote counts. Over time, the brain begins to expect this behavior. It rewires your self-image. And what used to feel forced becomes who you are. This isn't about faking it. It's about installing it, one action at a time. The environment code. Change your brain by changing the room. Your brain is constantly scanning your surroundings, noticing patterns, absorbing signals, mimicking the people around you without permission. This is called mirror neuron activity. It means your brain is designed to copy. That's why you start speaking like your friends. Why moods spread like viruses. Why you suddenly feel stuck after spending too much time with people who gave up on their dreams. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your environment. Want to rewire your brain faster? Change the room. Surround yourself with people who speak differently, who think bigger, who normalize what you thought was rare. Your neurons will adapt. Your beliefs will expand. And your brain will rewire without resistance because it's learning from the tribe. This doesn't mean cutting people off. It means curating inputs, protecting your energy, and feeding your mind the world you want it to live in. Emotional regulation. Mastering the storm. Inside. Success doesn't come from never feeling doubt, fear, or anger. It comes from what you do when those feelings show up. Inside your brain, a quiet battle happens every day between the amygdala, your emotional alarm system, and the prefrontal cortex, your rational decision maker. When emotions spike, the alarm takes over. Logic fades. You react instead of respond. And when that happens often enough, you train your brain to see emotion as a threat instead of information. But here's the truth. Emotion isn't the enemy. It's a messenger. Your brain isn't telling you to stop. It's telling you to listen, pause, breathe, feel, then lead. The act of noticing your emotion without obeying it activates the prefrontal cortex. It strengthens the neural circuit of self-control. It's not about suppressing what you feel. It's about understanding that emotions are temporary electricity, and you are the ground. You don't fight the storm. You anchor yourself through it. And over time, your mind learns, I can handle this. And that belief, that's resilience. Focus, the superpower you forgot you had. Your brain is a spotlight, but most people never aim it. They let their attention drift, from notification to craving to worry to noise. And the result? A brain trained for chaos, shallow thoughts, fragmented effort, no traction. But when you aim the spotlight, when you direct your focus intentionally, something powerful happens. Neural pathways light up. Distractions fade. Time slows down. This is called selective attention, and it's how the brain decides what to grow. Whatever you focus on expands. Thoughts become stronger. Connections get reinforced. Focus isn't just about cutting distractions. It's about training the muscle of attention. Every time you return to the task, every time you resist checking your phone, you're teaching your brain that depth matters. And with enough training, focus becomes a reflex, and success becomes the byproduct of stillness in a distracted world. Stress from enemy to ally. Stress gets a bad reputation. We've been taught that it's toxic, that it breaks us. But in truth, stress is energy, waiting for direction. When you interpret stress as danger, your body collapses. When you see it as preparation, your body rises, your heart races, your breathing sharpens, your brain primes for performance. It's the same reaction, just a different story. Your interpretation shapes your biology. This is called cognitive reappraisal. It means your thoughts about stress change your response to it. A challenge isn't a threat. It's an invitation. And the more often you accept that invitation, the more your brain rewires to see difficulty as growth, not danger. You don't eliminate stress. You alchemize it. And that shift turns fear into fuel. Resilience, the code of bouncing forward. Everyone falls, but not everyone rises. Resilience isn't just about getting back up. It's about bouncing forward, learning, adapting, emerging stronger. Inside your brain, every setback creates a choice. Do you build new meaning or reinforce defeat? Those who rewire for resilience don't avoid pain. They assign value to it. They say, this hurt me, but it taught me. This broke me, but it built something new. This failed, but now I know. This kind of thinking doesn't come naturally. It's forged, like metal, through fire. You create it by facing micro-adversities, every cold shower, every difficult conversation, every time you sit in discomfort and don't run. You're forging resilience circuits, and soon, your brain starts to expect growth from struggle. It stops fearing the fall. That's the real rewiring. Not just feeling better, but becoming unbreakable. Mental rehearsal, the brain's cheat code. Here's something strange. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. If you vividly imagine performing a task, your brain activates the same motor regions as if you actually did it. This is called mental rehearsal. And it's how elite performers build skill, confidence, and calm under pressure. Before they act, they see. Not vaguely, not casually, with intention, clarity, precision. Want to rewire your brain for confidence? Don't just think positive. Rehearse success. See yourself walking on stage. Feel the calm in your chest. Hear your voice, steady and strong. Watch the audience respond. Do it again, and again, and again. Your brain takes notes, and when the moment comes, it says, "We've done this before." This is visualization, not as fantasy, but as training. And the brain loves to follow a familiar path. Make success familiar. And watch your mind rise to meet it. Time, the brain's most dangerous illusion. Time isn't just something we measure. It's something we feel. Your brain doesn't experience time equally. It compresses it, stretches it, and distorts it. Based on one thing: presence. When you're in flow, fully focused, an hour feels like 5 minutes. When you're distracted or anxious, 5 minutes feels like an hour. And here's the dangerous part. Most people don't live in the present. They're stuck in loops of memory, regret, projection, or fear. So their brains wire for delay, for overthinking, for watching life instead of living it. But when you return to the now, when you feel this moment fully, without trying to escape or fast forward it, you rewire the brain to trust time again. You move with it, not against it. And success no longer feels rushed because you're in the process, not chasing the outcome. This is how you expand time, not by doing more, but by being more present. Identity 2.0, Becoming the Future You. Let's revisit identity, because you've been building one, whether you knew it or not. Every repetition, every choice, every moment of self-discipline, it all adds up to a new version of you. But here's what most people miss. You don't need to find yourself. You need to design yourself. Your brain doesn't care who you used to be. It only responds to who you consistently act like now. Want to become more confident? Start showing up like someone who believes they belong. Want to be disciplined? Take actions that reinforce structure and control. Every act is a vote. And eventually, your brain stops asking, "Is this real?" and starts saying, "This is who I am." This isn't faking. It's building. The real you is the one you choose and hardwire through repetition. Behavioral congruence. When mind and action match. Let's talk alignment. Most people feel stuck, not because they're broken, but because their behavior contradicts their beliefs. They say they want success, but scroll endlessly. They say they value health, but choose comfort every night. This creates internal tension. Your brain doesn't trust you, and you start to doubt yourself, not because you lack ability, but because your actions don't back your vision. This is called cognitive dissonance, and it's a silent killer of confidence. So how do you fix it? Not by overhauling your life, but by aligning one small action with your higher self. Daily. That morning walk. That no phone hour. That small but hard decision that says, I meant what I said. Each alignment restores integrity. And your brain says, we're serious now. You don't need more motivation. You need more alignment. Long-term wiring, the compound effect of neuroplasticity. Let's zoom out. All this rewiring, these habits, these changes, they may feel small in the moment. But your brain doesn't forget. Every repetition deepens the groove. Every choice strengthens the circuit. Every hard moment you show up for is stored as evidence. This is neuroplasticity at scale. And over time, it becomes the compound interest of success. Most people quit too early because they don't see the change happening. But the brain doesn't change with fireworks. It changes with whispers, daily consistency, subtle rewiring, invisible shifts, until suddenly it's obvious. You don't rise in one moment. You rise from 1,000 quiet ones, stacked. And one day, the things that once terrified you feel like second nature. The distractions that once ruled you lose their grip. The dreams that felt out of reach feel inevitable. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Final thoughts. The brain you build is the life you live. You've made it this far, and that means something. Not just that you're curious, but that you're ready. Because here's the deepest truth of all. The life you're living today is a mirror of the brain you've wired. But that wiring, it's not permanent. It's not destiny. It's a story you can rewrite. Every thought you choose to believe. Every action you take when no one's watching. Every time you feel fear and move forward anyway. That's how you rewire. That's how you become. And the real magic? You're not waiting to be chosen. You're choosing yourself. Right now. Challenge. Your brain, your move. Now it's your turn. For the next 7 days, pick one action that aligns with your future self. One habit, one shift. One thing your old self would resist. Do it daily, no matter what. Track it, reflect on it. Watch how your brain responds. Then, come back to this video and comment. I rewired one thing and everything changed. Let's fill this comment section with proof. Proof that we don't just consume information, we use it. Thank yourself for getting this far. If this journey spoke to you, if something clicked, shifted, or unlocked, then give this video a like. It tells the algorithm, more people need to hear this. And if you're serious about becoming the architect of your own mind, then subscribe. Because this channel isn't about hype. It's about transformation. You're not just watching a video. You're training a new brain. So stick around. We're just getting started.